Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Captain Chandler with your police department, just with an update for you on our storm response and conditions as our police officers see it out there in the community as we deal with day two of our winter storm. So, we all have noticed the snow has stopped, but the temperatures got super cold, and with 6 to 8 inches across our area, whatever has fallen is now kind of turning to ice. So if it's melted a little bit, it's freezing over and turning to ice. And it was interesting on my way home last night. I had an easy time getting home, not too bad. It was about, I don't know, close to 8:30 at night. And then today, when I came in this morning, about an hour ago, I had a worse time this morning than I did last night. So I almost lost control of my SUV. It's an all-wheel drive SUV, and as I was turning onto Charlie Daniels Parkway at a slow speed, my back end started to swing out, and I regained control, and I made it to the station just fine. So just be careful if you have to get out today. Of course, we are advocating if you can stay home, stay home. We understand that some of you have to get out, but the roads are just as bad as they were yesterday, if not worse. Simply because, and I say worse because you can kind of get overconfident, and when you're traveling and you think it's clear at a high rate of speed, you then hit that ice that has some wetness on it from some melt from the ice and the snow, and it makes it extra slick. And then you just simply lose control. And we've seen a lot of crashes this morning at a higher rate than we did yesterday through the whole day, where cars are just going too fast for conditions, losing control, crashing into a utility pole off the roadway or on into the interstate median barrier wall. So let me give you a status update on what we're doing as a city and police department. So we obviously have extra officers on duty right now. We're hoping to change that at 2 o'clock this afternoon and go back to normal staff levels. Our investigative units have been in and supplementing patrol to help with the call volume that we see. And if we can keep the call volume at a manageable pace, we will go back to normal schedules this afternoon. Of course, our fire department is beefed up with their staffing, and they have additional vehicles to respond to calls that could be in a difficult location. And you've seen it, your public works teams, they're out working hard, trying to get the ice and snow off our roadways to make them as clear as possible. They're laying the salt, they're plowing, but with the cold temperatures, again, the snow and plow that they're trying to do with those snow trucks, it just doesn't do as well as it would if the temperatures were a little higher. We're thankful for the sun. The sun will definitely help out and clear those roadways. But our crews are out. And if you follow the City of Mount Juliet on Facebook, you've probably seen all the updates from our city public information officer, Justin Beasley. He's been live at different locations, driving around Mount Juliet with the public works teams and our fire chief, giving a good overview of the conditions out there. So if you do not follow the City of Mount Juliet on Facebook, give them a follow, because Justin Beasley, he's been with us for about 4 months. He does a fantastic job about getting information out to the community. Yesterday, we saw about 78 disabled vehicles, which we consider the spinoffs or stuck vehicles. Not quite a crash because there's no damage, but they slid off the roadway or they became stuck on the roadway where we had to help them out. There were 13 no injury crashes, and there were 0 unknown injuries, 0 injury, and 3 reckless driver calls. Today, so far, we've had 5 disabled vehicles and spinoff, and they're still coming in on the radio. So this was updated about 30 minutes ago. So that number continues to get higher. There's been 5 no injury crashes, 0 unknown injury crashes, and 1 injury crash, and 1 reckless driver call. And if we start to close roadways related to this, you can go to this website, www.mjpdnews.org/incident, and there is an interactive map you can click on to see where roads are closed. Now, all of our roads are hazardous, but if there is a condition, some type of situation where multiple vehicles are stuck and we have a lot of officers out there, we will then close that road, and that's when it hits the map. You can't just look at that map and think, well, I don't see any closed roadways. The roads are probably wide open and clear. That's not the case. We only close them if there's an emergency situation that requires a closure. General ice and snow on those roads, they're not closed. And you'll see the plows out. Again, they're out working hard. Just don't crowd those plows. Earlier in 2021, when we had the snow, we had to escort the plows around town because motorists were driving by them recklessly. And when you do that, it slows their process. So we had to escort them through town so they could do their snow removal. We have not had to do that this year, so everyone's doing good. So if you see that plow or snow truck out there, stay behind it. Do not try to pass it. And if you have to get out and drive, take it slow. Take it extra slow, and those icy patches will definitely sneak up on you. So they are definitely icy. They have a little bit of wetness on them, what makes it extra slick. You don't want to use cruise control. You do not want to brake quickly or take sharp turns quickly, and always pay attention when you're out and about today, if you have to get out. Now, again, we're trying to keep folks home as best as we can. It's sunny. It's very deceiving out there, and cars and motorists who are a little bit overconfident are having some bad crashes out this way that we did not really see yesterday. We had 0 injury crashes yesterday, but we've had an injury crash today, and I would prefer not to see anyone hurt through this snow event that we see. So with any live update that we do, we take questions. So please, if you have a question, type that in the comments. I'm going to scroll through and try to see if I see a question in here to jump on. Obviously, we see all the good comments here from James here saying, so I'm justified not taking my kids sledding at Rutland coming from Stewart's Ferry. So James, that is definitely at your own risk. If you do have to get out on the roadways, please be safe. I get it. I was sledding last night with a family who lived in Willoughby Station, the Brown family, but they were out sledding at the Grace United Methodist Church. It's a popular sledding area in our community. Every now and again, some of our officers go out and sled with the different families that are out that way. I got to join them last night, and it was a good time. So I get it. Sledding can be pretty fun. And just continue to go here. See what else questions we got. So Donna just has an experience here. She's glad got home and worked safely. Thank you, Donna. And she had that spin off getting stuck on a slope and rollback experience in her 2-wheel drive truck a few years ago. And never again will she drive a 2-wheel drive truck in the snow. So good deal. Probably good advice there. Michelle asking about Lebanon Road. So Michelle, good question. A lot of our spinoffs have been on Lebanon Road today. And I'm listening to officers on my radio right now talking about a spinoff and a wreck that they're out on Lebanon Road. So really, we all of our roads have snow and ice on them, and I see different questions about how's Nonneville Road, how's Saundersville Road, how's Lebanon Road. They're all going to be treacherous and hazardous today. Hopefully, into the day they'll work on the clearing. The sun will help, and then into tomorrow it'll be a lot better for us. But I really don't want to give anyone false sense of security about what road is better, because what I've seen so far today, they're all just as bad as each other. We have just a question about the plow, Amber, coming through Hickory Hill. So right now, Amber, our plows are focused on the main roadways. Then once they get those clear, they'll begin to move to the neighborhoods and plow those. But we have to get the main roads clear first, and then they're able to work to those secondary roads. So just give it time. Hopefully you'll see a plow going through neighborhoods as the day progresses. And the question here, if Jimmy can use his Polaris razor to get to the store. So Jimmy, if you have a street legal razor that is tagged and you're operating on the proper roadways for that vehicle, which would be a low or medium speed vehicle, then if it's legal, of course you can. But just because there's snow and ice, and that doesn't give some special permission for certain non-street legal vehicles to then become street legal. Yeah, again, more questions about like Beckwith and Golden Bear Gateway. They all have this snow and ice pack on it. It got so cold overnight, and it's staying cold today. It's really hard to clear the amount of snow that fell, because then as it melted, it's forming a layer of ice out there. And for those of you that are joining later in the broadcast, I had a harder time getting to work today than I did yesterday, or going home yesterday evening, simply because it's no longer snow. It's this ice that's in some transition period where it's wet in some places and icy in some places. And the water on the ice really makes it slick out there. And I would suspect as that we lose daylight and go into darkness tonight. They'll just continue to get worse, and hopefully we'll get some good relief tomorrow. But the sun's out today. It's given us some help. Our public works crews, they're out working hard with the plows and the snow trucks. As I speak, they've been going nonstop 24/7 since this event happened. It's just been a long event, a lot of snow and very cold. But if you do not follow the City of Mount Juliet on Facebook, go follow them. Look at their different videos from today. Justin Beasley, their new public information officer, does an amazing job about getting information out to our community about our public works teams, about City Hall and fire department and parks. And he's really been focused on public works during this winter storm and posting a lot of videos and live videos, riding around so you can kind of get an idea of how their roads look. And hopefully this afternoon, we will connect with our community service officer, Rich Frankich, and have a live camera out on the roadways so y'all can check it out in our afternoon broadcast later today. So anyway, have a safe day, folks. I see the questions kind of tampering off. And if there is a tapering off, and if there's anything we can do for you, just give us a call. We are here for you, and just one phone call away. So take care, everyone, and stay safe if you have to get out there on the roads.